Everyone, today's video is a first page Funday video, the nostalgic version. If you look at my playlist for my first page Fundays, I typically will do a first page of usually a Christian fiction because that's what most of my reading is. But occasionally I'll throw in some other things, which is kind of what I'm doing here. I have gotten myself stuck in, or I've gone down a rabbit hole in nostalgic reads from my childhood, from when I was preteen and teenager, even when I was a young adult. So I'm like I'm picking up all these books from when I was a kid that I remember loving, and I'm reading some of them, and some of them I'm like, why did I like that as a kid? And then some of them I'm like, oh, I remember why I love this. So it's just been a fun thing. So now I will preface this one to say that I did not read this as a kid. And I'm sure you can tell by looking at the back of it what this has to do with. But I will say that as a reader, I wanted to raise readers. So my children had probably more books than I did because it was easy for me to get children's books. So we went to the library a lot. We went to book sales, and so they had loads of books. And whenever they had a large family, and they would get tons of gifts for Christmas. And I remember one time when people would ask me, "What can I get they were like toddler age, and the family was like, "Well, what can I get your kids for Christmas?" And I'm like, you know what? Honestly, they get too many toys as it is. Get them books. Get them books. So I say they got too many toys, but I'm like, you can never have too many books, right? It's not a double standard, is it? So anyway, so they had loads of books. So I came across this, and this one actually was a new purchase. This was not something I found used, that I just had to share with you. And that is The Little Critters. And here is the book. Now, this is a hard copy. I found it recently at Walmart, and I was so excited because I'm like, I flipped through it and I'm like, I gotta get this. I just have to get this. Because I read The Little Critters to my children. My oldest daughter in particular, she had an aunt who would give her those books as presents, and she would write in them, and her aunt has since passed away, so those books are treasured keepsakes for her. So she has most of the Little Critter books that we read as kids. So I have like a handful of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to beef up my collection here for, when I have kids visiting me or future grandkids or whatever, I need to have copies of this. So I love this because it's hardbound. So this is 10 Beloved Stories by Mercer. So Little Critters is done by Mercer. These are great little kids stories. So the stories they have are Just for You, Just Me and My Dad, Just Me and My Little Brother, Just Go to Bed, All by Myself, Me Too, Just Grandpa and Me, Just Grandma and Me, Just Me and My Puppy, and Just a Mess. And pretty much I remembered, there was only one of them that I didn't remember reading, but I think that we had all of them. And we read all of them. I especially remember the Grandpa and Me and Grandma and Me because the grandparents would actually read those to the kids. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite ones. Actually, my favorite one to quote from, which is not in this collection, is one that was called I Was Just So Mad. Because now every time my old adult son, who I would read these to when he was a kid, every time he says, I was so mad, I think of that book. Every time. In fact, now he's like, yeah, Mom, he'll go, I was just so mad. And then he'll go, don't say it, Mom. So let's go to page 81, because that's going to be my first page. I might read more than the first page. We'll see. Just because this was my one of my favorite ones to read, the Just Go to Bed. I'm a cowboy, and I round up cows. I can lasso anything. Dad says it's time for the cowboy to come inside and get ready for bed. I'm a general and I have to stop the enemy army with my tank. Dad says, it's time for the general to take a bath. You know what? I feel like I should just read this whole one to you because it's so fun. I'm a space cadet and I zoom to the moon. I capture a robot with my ray gun. Dad says, this giant robot has captured the space cadet and is going to put him in the bathtub right now. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest. But there's a part basically where Dad starts getting a little frustrated with the little one for not going to bed and says, just go to bed, which is one of the reasons why I love that story. So that is it for First Page Fun Days. If you like this video, please leave a comment below. Please like the video. And then also, leave a comment. Let me know, did you read any of these books by Mercer? Because if you didn't, you should. You should. Highly recommend them. And because this book is available, it was like, I want to say it was $10. $10, which is a decent price for a hardcover book that's got the collectible stories in them. So I got mine at Walmart, so you can pick them up in local stores. Highly recommend it. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. Have a great day.